Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today we're going to be doing a Triamid, like Rock Stun kind of deck. This is an interesting deck. So it came out in the Dark Illusion quite a few years ago. But in that set, just imagine that. So it's Dark Illusion. So that's when Dark Magicians were first getting their support. You had decks like Spiral coming out in that, Subterror, Paleozoic, Metal Foes, even Fairy Tale Snow was released in the set that Triamids came out in. So you can just imagine this deck was just kind of overshadowed by everything else. But I fell in love with it right away because it was just kind of a cool mechanic. You switch out the field spell for whatever you need at the time on your opponent's turn. Really kind of cool. But yeah, definitely since the beginning, I've played this as like a Rock Stun variant right after Ties of the Brethren came out. Added that right to this because it just really helped the deck out a lot. It's in dire need of some new support, so hopefully we get some soon. Some more main deck monsters would be nice, maybe a new field spell. But yeah, we're going to get right into this. Make sure you guys are subscribed because I am slowly getting cards for my Mermail deck, and I have an update coming up real soon for my Machina deck. So stay tuned for those, and we'll get right into this one. And we are starting off with my favorite and pretty much the best Triamid monster is Triamid Hunter, because as long as there's a field spell on the field, you can normal summon a rock type monster in addition to your normal summon. So any rock type monster doesn't even have to be a Triamid. So that's just really cool with him. And then all the Triamid monsters, once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target a Triamid field spell and send it to the graveyard, and then activate a Triamid field spell directly from your deck with a different name. So that's just really cool as well. Get a few effects going off there. And he's level 3, which is also very good. And 2 Triamid Dancer. She's okay. Another level 3, so that's nice. But you can target a Triamid card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and then all rock type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. And then again, switch out that field spell during your opponent's turn. Really nice. And then 2 Master. This one's actually level 4, but once per turn, you can send a face-up Triamid card you control to the graveyard, then target a set card on the field and destroy it. So it's just okay, but I do like him for the name. And then a level 4 is actually really nice for him. And then the last Triamid monster is Sphinx. It's your main boss monster, but you cannot normal summon it. You have to special summon it with the effect of a Triamid card, either his own or like the field spell is a good way of getting him out. But if a face-up Triamid card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then while you control another Triamid card, this card gains 500 attack and defense. So he'd be at 3,000, 3,000 for each field spell with a different name in your graveyard. So if you have, 3 field spells, he'll gain 1,500 attack and 1,500 defense. And then also monsters your opponent controls cannot attack except to attack Sphinx. So he's decent enough. He's a pretty cool card. And then in addition to the Triamids, I mentioned we're playing like a Rock Stun variant. So we are doing the Kawaki Meru, which one of the best ones is Overload, playing 3 of him. Level 4 Earth Rock type. His effect is during either player's turn. When your opponent would summon a monster, you can tribute this card, negate the summon, and destroy it. So he is really good for that. And then 3 Wall. Him, when your opponent activates a spell card, you can tribute this card, negate the activation, and destroy it. And then the last one is 2 Guardian. Negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy it. So they're all good in their own rights, especially if you open up one of these and have Ties of the Brethren. You can get all one of each on the board to kind of just protect you from everything. Really good. Or like with Master, you can Ties of the Brethren, 2 of these. Really cool engine in here. And then in addition to all these, we also are playing 1 Fossil Dyna. Again, a really good target for Ties of the Brethren. Neither player can special summon monsters, and when this card is flipped face up, you destroy all special summon monsters on the field. Good little lockout card. And then for our level 3s, Neospatian Grand Mole, just at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you just return this card and the opponent's monster to the hand. So easy way of getting rid of problematic monsters. And then we have Sentry Soldier of Stone. If all monsters you control are rock type, while this card is in your graveyard, you can just special summon it. So a really good level 3 extender. And 1 Block Golem. This one, if all monsters in your graveyard are earth, you can tribute this card and target 2 level 4 or lower rock type monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. Their effects are negated. Their effects that activate on the field cannot be activated this turn. So after that, if they have an effect like the Triamid monsters on your opponent's turn, you could use those. So it is a decent card. And then the last one to kind of just round out everything is Block Dragon. Basically, all of these, including Fossil Dyna, you really don't need to see more than one of these in your hand. So I felt just one of all those is really good. And Block Dragon's obviously amazing if you can get to it. So too good not to play any of these, especially in a rock type deck like this. So that is all the monsters. For the spells, we'll start off with our Triamid field spells. By far the best one is Cruiser. Each time a rock type monster is normal summoned, you'll gain 500 life points. And then if a Triamid monster is normal summoned, you can draw a card and then discard a card. So it's a good way of loading up the graveyard. Obviously draw power, really nice. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Triamid monster from your deck to your hand. So obviously with the Triamid monsters, you're going to very easily be able to get this to the grave to then just search out another monster. So really, really good. The other one we play 3 of is King Golem. This is the one I said is a way of getting out our Sphinx. So you could always switch this out for this, and then you'll be adding the Sphinx to hand to then, with King Golem, all rock-type monsters on the field gain 500 attack, and if a Triamid monster you control battles, your opponent cannot, cards and effects, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Triamid monster from your hand. So that's your way of getting Sphinx easily out onto the field. And then the last one, just an okay one, is Fortress. All rock-type monsters gain 500 defense. And then Triamid monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that one's decent for protection on your opponent's turn. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Triamid monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So decent effects there. But by far, best card in the deck is Ties of the Brethren. If you don't open this, your board is going to be mediocre, basically. It's your absolute best starter, and it is just really nice. Basically, you pay 2,000 life points, target a level 4 or lower monster you control. You can't special summon monsters after this, but you special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster. And you can't conduct your battle phase. But otherwise, you know, if you say you open up, I don't know, we'll just say Overload and Ties of the Brethren, normal summon, and then you activate Ties of the Brethren, and you can get out a Fossil Dyna and a Wall. And you have Spell Negate, Summon Negate, and then your opponent's not special summoning anything. So right there's, just 2 cards is a pretty good lock for you. Ties of Brethren, absolutely important. And then we have 3 Diamond Core of Kwakimeru. This simply, you just add a Kwakimeru card from your deck to your hand. So simply search any of those guys. Really, really nice. Terraforming, for obvious reasons, we're searching out our field spell. Set Rotation, kind of same thing. Get whichever one you need. And then Foolish Burial, mostly for sending Well, pretty much only for sending one of these 3 guys, because they all have decent effects in the grave. Sorry, pretty much just Sentry Soldier and Block Dragon. And then for our traps, 2 Pulse. Really cool if you can kind of load your graveyard a little bit, because you just banish 2 cards from your graveyard, any combination of rock type and field spell cards. And you have 3 effects you can use. You can either target a face-up card in the field and destroy it, target a rock-type monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, or target up to 3 field spells in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw a card. So really cool. And then final card is just a Metaverse. Again, just another way of getting to your field spells. Get an effect off that you need. That is it for the main deck. The extra... best one by far, best Xyz monster for this kind of deck is Gorgonic Guardian. Requires 2 level 3 rock type, but during either player's turn, you just detach 1, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, its attack becomes 0, and its effects are negated. Absolutely amazing. And then just some kind of generic rank 3s, Break Sword for just destroying a card your opponent controls, Grand Pulse for destroying a spell or trap, Leviair for getting back, special summoning one of your banished monsters, Nightmare Shark. This is mostly for you just once per turn you can detach material from this, target a water monster you control, and it can attack your opponent directly. So this just 2,000 right to the face if you need it. Angineer, you can detach 1, target a face-up attack position you control, change it to defense, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. Our rank 4s, Dugaris, for special summoning from the grave, drawing 2, discarding 1, or doubling the attack of a monster you control. Baguska, amazing, stall card. And then Time Thief Redoer, just a decent card for interrupting your opponent. And then for our links, Mrs. Radiant, we play all Earth type, so this just boosts the attack of all your Earth monsters. And then just some generic monster removal, Cerberus, Phoenix, get rid of a spell and trap, or Unicorn, just target a card on the field and shuffle it into the deck. And then last card is Borload, just a option if you want to go into it. But yeah, that is it for the deck, guys. Again, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of these upcoming decks that I got. Try this one out. It's actually really fun. Really cool stun deck variant that I got here. So yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.